The history of African Americans in the United States is a story marked by systemic injustice, beginning with the horrors of slavery and continuing into present-day disparities in justice, healthcare, education, and opportunity. From the very beginning, African Americans have faced oppression, but they have also shown remarkable resilience and strength in the fight for equality. Between the 16th and 19th centuries, millions of Africans were violently taken from their homelands and forced onto ships bound for the Americas. Chained in overcrowded conditions with little food or water, nearly 2 million died at sea, so many that sharks followed the ships to feed on discarded bodies. Those who survived were sold as property in America, where by 1860 almost 4 million people lived in bondage. Families were torn apart, women suffered abuse, and brutal punishments enforced control. Slavery was not just an institution, it was a system designed to strip away humanity. Yet, the spirit of resistance never faded. The fight for abolition gained momentum, and by the 1860s, the nation was at war. The Civil War cost hundreds of thousands of lives, but ultimately led to the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863 and the abolition of slavery in 1865. Freedom was finally written into law, but true equality remained elusive. To honor the contributions and struggles of African Americans, historian Carter G. Woodson began what would later become Black History Month, a reminder of both past suffering and enduring resilience. The mid-20th century brought another wave of transformation with the Civil Rights Movement. In 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat in Montgomery, Alabama, sparking the Montgomery bus boycott. Led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the boycott lasted over a year and eventually forced the courts to strike down segregation on buses. Through marches, speeches, and acts of courage, the movement dismantled many legal barriers to equality, though deeper inequalities persisted. Even today, systemic injustices are visible in every corner of American life. African Americans make up just 13% of the population, but nearly 40% of the prison population, with black men far more likely to be incarcerated than white men. Homelessness tells a similar story, with black Americans representing more than a third of those without homes. In healthcare, black mothers are still 3 to 4 times more likely to die in childbirth than white mothers. In education, underfunded schools and higher dropout rates continue to limit opportunities for black children. History also reveals a disturbing pattern of exploitation, especially against black women. In the 1800s, Dr. James Marion Sims conducted experimental surgeries on enslaved women without anesthesia, under the racist belief that they felt less pain. Even today, black women in politics face hostility and discrimination. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, for example, has endured violent threats and Islamophobic attacks simply for who she is and what she represents. And in 2020, the murder of George Floyd at the hands of a police officer shocked the world. For 9 minutes and 29 seconds, he begged for his life, repeating the words, "I can't breathe." His death, captured on video, ignited global protests demanding justice and police reform, reminding the world that systemic racism is not just history, it is a present reality. The story of African Americans is not only one of oppression, but also of survival, strength, and resistance. The numbers today still paint a sobering picture of inequality in prisons, hospitals, schools, and housing. But this history also asks a powerful question. How long will these injustices last, and what role will we play in ending them?